Writers, welcome back. We are at episode 3 of 5 before our next break, and we have an absolute all-star joining us today. What does it take to lead in today's fast-paced world? This is a question I think we can all benefit from learning more about, and we have the expert with us here today. We are bringing on an incredible author who titled the book with just that, Mastering Leadership, What It Takes to Lead in Today's Fast-Paced World. Welcome back to Writing with Authors. Vincent Lanci here, and we are joined by Vanessa Judelman as she is going to preview her book, writing tips, everything you need for success, and most importantly, great conversation we have today. We had a preview this morning with a little mix-up, and now we are finally here, ready to record. Let me fill you in on this book a little bit, and then we'll bring on our guest of honor. In this book, she provides you with the strategies you need to become an extraordinary leader, even under adverse conditions. I enjoy how I learned this book is practical, and you will hear countless stories of everyday leaders who have applied her approach to achieve excellent results. Plus, you'll be able to access your current leadership effectiveness, as the book includes 3 assessments and an action plan. I love these books with call to action. Judelman shares the wisdom of 12 executives who speak frankly about the challenging yet fulfilling journey of mastering leadership. And when we speak about the challenges, that is the part that helps us most. I love how you're highlighting that. And I think we have to bring you on. Vanessa, thank you for taking the time to join our community of writers.
Hi, Vince. Nice to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. We're going to get this show started. But before we find out why you became an author, give our audience a preview of who you are.
For sure. So my name is Vanessa. I live in Toronto, Canada, and I have been a leadership consultant and coach for over 20 years. So I've developed leaders literally across the globe at all levels. I do one-on-one coaching at the executive level. And with those who are either new to leadership or moving into the next level of leadership, I do training. And it's what I love to do and what I'm passionate about. The reason I'm passionate about it, Vince, is because leaders really set the tone in an organization. So I don't know if anyone's listening out there and you've had a really bad leader, you probably left that organization because your leader made your life miserable. So leaders really do set the tone and make or break people's experience at work. And that's why the work that I do, I am so passionate about.
Well, I love how you're following your dreams, following what you're passionate about, but I can certainly resonate with the bad leaders and leaving the organizations. I unfortunately worked my tail off to start acquiring great financial firms in my resume. I was everything from Merrill Lynch, Northwestern Mutual, some banks, and I had great experiences, but I didn't have one mentor, one leader who actually made me want to be there. And fast forward, thankfully, I stopped following a different purpose, started following my passion, similar to you, started writing these books, launching series like this to help writers out there succeed on their journey. And of course, for book enthusiasts to learn great new books, which is what we're going to talk about now. Let's talk about your book.
Awesome. So the book is called Mastering Leadership, What It Takes to Lead in Today's Fast-Paced World. And I think we can all admit that one thing is for certain, the world that we work in is so fast-paced. It's funny, because a lot of people talk about work-life balance. I don't even talk about work-life balance, Vince. I talk about work-life juggle, because I think people are always juggling their priorities at work. And so in the book, what I really wanted to look at is what are some core issues that leaders face and how to overcome them. And one of the biggest issues that leaders face is that they're not taught how to lead. So think about it this way. If you had, I actually do have a 16-year-old, my oldest son just turned 16 in October. Here's what I'm not going to do with my son. I'm not going to give him the car keys and say, off you go, drive. No, he's going to go to driver's ed class. He's going to, learn with a driving instructor for many, many months before I give him the car keys. But that's essentially what organizations do with leaders. They basically say, you're a good individual contributor. And now what I want to do is promote you into a leadership role, go. But they don't give them any coaching, any training, any mentorship. And quite frankly, the job that anyone does before they move into a leadership position is a different job than leading other people and getting results through people.
I couldn't agree with you more. Without preparation, without training, how do you expect someone to reach their full potential, let alone succeed? Was this book always going to be something you wanted to complete, or how did this book come about? What led you to become a published author?
Yes, I always had a dream of writing a book, and I've been writing a blog on my website for probably 10 years. And
Congratulations.
and I was an English major in university, so I've always loved to write. Writing a blog was one of the best things I could do because it honed my ability to write. So I know a lot of people say, I want to write a book, but I don't know if I'm good enough to write a book. I always say start small, start with a blog. So that's how I started. I honed my voice, I identified my voice. And so by the time I started to write a book, I felt really confident that I'd found my voice.
I love that. And then that's a great lesson for everyone out there. Start small and you
Yeah.
can end up big, but also practice makes perfect. A blog, and I say congratulations because I know the work that goes in behind the scenes to put out a consistent blog. I do a newsletter just periodically here and there, and the work that goes in for just one, let alone doing something like that every day. So be sure everyone stick around to the end of the show, find out how to find out more about her. That way you can follow that blog and order her book. But I want to ask for some advice now, one of my favorite parts of the show because of how much it can help everyone. What is some advice you can share as far as it comes to writing?
Hmm. Well, one thing I think is really important to think about is ambition versus competition. What I mean by that is when I started writing my book or thinking about writing it, I was really scared about the competition. So I was thinking like, is it ever going to be as good as Stephen Covey's book on 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Or is it ever going to be good as Simon Sinek's book? Or, I was comparing myself to people who had sold millions and millions of copies of their books. But when I reversed my mindset from competition to ambition, it really became me against myself. It became me thinking about, I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else, but I want to write the best book for me based on my experiences, my stories that I need to share. And I interviewed 12 executives in the book, and I really wanted to share their stories as well. So that mindset shift was really critical for me.
I think that's a very important lesson there because we need to be focused on our own work, not outside noise. And to tune out the noise is, of course, very difficult, let alone having the itty bitty committee in our head, tuning them out as well. But just stick to it, everyone out there. Start small. We spoke about that before. But before we let our guests go, any plans for another book? What's next in the writing world for you? We know with the blog, maybe now's a good time to share that blog location too.
Sure. So I do blog once a week at Mosaic People Development. That is my website. So it's mosaicpd.com. Just go to the blog section. Yeah, just head into Google and type in Mosaic People Development and you'll find it. Do I want to write another book? Yes, I do. And I'm funnily enough noodling the topic right now. So I had a different idea for a book, but post-pandemic things have changed so much. So I haven't landed on the topic yet, Vince, but I'll let you know when I do.
Please do keep me in the loop. We'll bring you right back on the show to check in with our incredible audience. Now, where can we find more about your book, All Things Vanessa?
All Things Vanessa are on my website at Mosaic People Development or mosaicpd.com. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect, just, again, search my name or on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me in those places as well.
We're going to have those links in the show description. That's again, mosaicpd.com. Search on LinkedIn for Vanessa. She is a great resource. I want to thank you for such an incredible show. Everyone tuning in, be sure to, this is a preview, I should say, for that entrepreneur show. We're going to have her aired right there in the beginning of the brand new year. Kim, thank you for supporting the show for another episode. We had a great testimonial today, and we have a great one again next week. But until then, I'm signing off. Wish you all a great week ahead. Vanessa, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Vince.